Okay, so I'm here to talk to you about the things that you're going to need for this fitness journey. And we're going to start off with a pair of lifting gloves. They don't have to be special, they don't have to be fancy, just something that's going to give your hands some protection because you will get calluses. And for our girls, it's not very pretty when you got a bunch of calluses. And for my guys, listen, nobody wants you rubbing their callousy hands all over them, so make sure you wear lifting gloves too, no matter how tough you are. So, enough with the gloves. One of the things that I like to use is a ball. This is a medicine ball. This is weighted. It's about 6 pounds. And you can find these types of pieces of equipment at Walmart, Sports Authority, Dick's. However, if you're on a budget, you can find this much cheaper on Craigslist. Yard sales? Yard sales are great. People don't want to work out anymore and they get these pieces of equipment they don't know what to do with, and you might be able to pick one up for a couple dollars. The same thing with Craigslist. So there's a lot of different things you can do with a weighted ball. Same thing with free weights. If you have a couple sets of free weights, some lighter ones, you might want to start off at 5 pounds. These particular ones are 8 pounds. 10 pounds, 12 pounds for my guys. If you want to do 15s, 20s, 25s, 30s, 35s, 40s, that's great too. Again, look on Craigslist first because you'll probably find them much cheaper, or at a yard sale, or maybe you know somebody who's selling them. If not, pick them up at Sports Authority, but according to your budget. Don't go out and buy all this stuff at one time because it can be rather expensive. Alright, so then the other thing I have is a kettlebell. And I like this particular kettlebell. I have pool clients and they can't work out on land, but they need the resistance, so this type of kettlebell is just made out of plastic. So this can get in the water and it's not going to rust. There's other kettlebells out there that are metal and they have the rubber coating. Those are good too. This particular one is 5 pounds and they do the same thing. They go to 2 pounds, 5 pounds, 6 pounds, 8 pounds, 12 pounds, all the way, I've seen them up to 65 pounds. But this will give you a good workout too. It's just a little added extra resistance, and again, check Craigslist. And then I have a band here. This is a jump stretch band, and this adds great resistance to your workout. There are all kinds of things you can do as far as working out, and it'll help stretch you. And this particular one was probably about 10 bucks. And you can find these online under Jump Stretch. You can find these also on Craigslist. I'm sure if you have a Dick's or Sports Authority, you have those there too. And they come in different thicknesses. And I like the small ones for my women and my kids. And for my guys that have injuries, like they have rotator cuff injuries or hip injuries, knee injuries, it's great for that. If you have a tight back, it'll help stretch you out. The thicker bands I like to use for other types of exercises. Just get one band for now. Later on down the road, if you want to get a thicker band, go ahead and do that. But this isn't an essential piece of equipment. These other ones are more important. I will throw these in, but it isn't going to be an everyday thing. And then a mat. You're going to need a mat that you can put on the floor. I got this one at a Goodwill, and I paid $1.99 for it. And this particular one came from Sports Authority, $34 because it had the word Pilates on it. So another good spot to look for equipment is Goodwill. I think the other one's Salvation Army, and there's another one, and I can't think right now, but I can picture it. But those are all places that you can find these things. And then, what are you wearing? You want to wear something that's comfortable, that's going to let you sweat. And I like to wear cute things. I'm known at my gym for my high socks. Let me talk to you about my high socks. I like to mix it up with my colors, and you know, this is what I wear every day. I live in spandex, so I like to mix it up. However, here in Florida, we've got fire ants and we've got mosquitoes this big, and we get all kinds of bugs, and you know how many times I've been outside teaching a boot camp and I've stepped into a fire ant pile, and I'm the only one that doesn't get bit because they all climb up your legs. There's 100 of them, and they all say, bite at the same time, and they'll get you. They never get through my socks. So my socks. But you don't have to wear high socks. I'm just saying. Okay, let me talk to you about your shoes. Your shoes are important. I see a lot of people that get tennis shoes and they've had them for a really long time. And what happens is they start to wear. And you see when they're walking, their ankles are rolling out or their toes are rolling in. A lot of people have flat feet and they don't realize it, or their arches are breaking down. Buy some Dr. Scholl's arch supports. You can get them cheap at CVS, Walgreens, or about $12. Slide them in your shoes just to give you that little extra support until you can afford to buy a good pair of shoes. Now, I switch my shoes. I have, for certain activities that I do for working out, I wear the flat across, like what I have on now. And then I have some that have shocks on them. I wear my shocks on the days that I do a lot of plyometrics. It takes a lot of the stress off of my feet. Your feet are going to get beat up. So it's important to make sure that you have a good pair of shoes. And there's so many different types of training shoes now. If you wear a different pair of shoes each day, you have 1 or 2 pairs, you can alternate. One day wear one pair, one day wear the other. It's going to save the wear and tear on your shoes, and it's going to save the wear and tear on your feet. I have several pairs of shoes that are 5 or 6 years old because I've switched them out. I only wear my shoes that I work out with at the gym or here. I don't wear them out on the street. Those are not my street shoes because I want to take care of my feet. So if you have street shoes, let them be your street shoes. You can usually catch good sales at outlet malls. I love to go to Nike. That's my favorite place to shop. I get into trouble there, but what I pay for one pair of shoes at the mall, I can get 3 or 4 pairs at the outlet mall. And that way I can switch them out. And I usually treat myself, I usually buy myself a brand new pair of shoes once every 3 months, but this is what I do for a living. And I have all different colors, I have all different styles, and I would have to say the Air Maxes are my favorite. They're a little easier on my feet. They've got all kinds of colors. So I go to Amazon.com too to check for sales and good prices. So that's another way. But your shoes are very, very important. This is what supports your structure. And I don't want you to have sore feet. It can throw your body off alignment, and your knees will start hurting, your hips, your back, and it just throws everything off. So it is important to have a good pair of shoes. And again, if you have flat feet or you have low arches in your feet, if you get those supports, slide those in your shoes. That'll definitely help. If you have children that have flat feet and they're working out with you, definitely get them supports. They need that extra arch support. It actually help their foot grow into an arch, and you may save them from having flat feet. So these are the things that you're going to need. You'll need a water bottle on the side and maybe a sweat rag. But this is the basics. This is what you're going to need. This is all you need to have that body that you've wanted. You don't have to have any fancy equipment. You have to pay, $100 a month for a gym membership. This is all you need. So go ahead, go out there, see what there is available. Don't spend a lot of money on it. You can get it cheap. Just look at all the right places, and what you can get at the big stores, you can get this at a fraction of the cost. Okay? If you have any questions, you can message me, inbox me, text me, call me, whatever you gotta do.